Good morning, students, or good afternoon. My name is Mr. Brown, and I've probably already introduced myself, so you're probably just in awe of my awesomeness. But today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using a software that some of you will learn how to use. It's known as Camtasia. And what Camtasia is, it's a screen capture format. Now, on the Mac computers, we actually have built-in HD cameras where it can record me speaking, but I'm not in a proper room with lighting and the background to really do it and give a good look, so I'm just going without the camera. So, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about using the different all the different classroom procedures I'm going to go over with, okay, in your handout. So if you'll turn to the first one, it should be on the back side, and it should be consequences for not following theater etiquette. Well, we're going to skip that one and actually go to theater etiquette. So you can see over here is I'm scrolling and I come across theater etiquette. So we're going to talk about this real fast. Okay, several things you need to know. Theater etiquette is the utmost important thing we will do in class. The reason being is because without theater etiquette, without us following the guidelines, the class won't function. So here are some things that you need to respect during class or at a public performance. Number one, do not talk during a performance or when Mr. Brown is teaching. It's very distracting. It really takes away from what we're doing. Number two, keep your feet off the seat in front of you. You know, some people don't mind, and if they don't mind you putting in the little basket there, I'm cool with that. But if they don't want you to have your feet on their seat, don't do it. Don't eat or drink during a performance or Mr. Brown's class. Now, there's opportunities that I'm going to allow you to come in and have something to eat and something to drink. But most time, you know, if you have water or something, keep it beside your desk, pull it out and put it down. Never throw anything on the stage or at an individual because we do not want people to get hurt. And you know, and I don't want a fight to start because of it. Keep feet and personal items out of the aisle. They go underneath your desk, so do that right now if you haven't already, because I'll be walking up and down the aisles, and I do not want to trip because I'm clumsy. And most of the time, scenes in this tend to get a little crazy. Cell phones should be turned off during class. I will allow time sometimes at the end of class for you to get on your cell phone, listen to your music, check stuff out, but really it's not to be utilized during class unless I tell you to. Never get out of your seat or leave the room during a performance because most of the time I'm grading, and if I'm talking to you, I'm not watching the students perform, and that's taken away from their grade. Don't discuss or comment on a rehearsal or performance unless it's good. You can always say great things, but don't talk negatively. Nobody wants to hear somebody's critique that oh, that's stupid, or that's not very good, because you know they're up there doing something, and you know, I will critique them, and if they need to be better, I'll let them know. Applaud at the end of each performance out of respect, and then also enjoy the class and the show that we're attending. Now, if you follow classroom etiquette, this will result in a structured environment that everyone will enjoy and be able to participate in. Now, we're going to talk about the consequences. No, we got to do classroom procedures. I am so sorry. So, flip over to the next page on the back of theater etiquette, and this one is procedures for theater art, which is very important because this is what allows Mr. Brown to function in class, and you as well. Okay, so start class. You know, we're going to start out in the hallway, and then when the bell rings, I'll let you come in. There will be no talking. There will be an assignment on the board. You come in and sit down. Once you're seated and you begin working on your assignment, no talking. I know I will have to constantly remind you not to talk, but hey, let's give it at least a week before I have to do that. All right. If you get done with your bell ringer, because you know you're going to be writing at the start of each class or working on a paper, be quiet and wait for other people to finish. Some days I might allow you to actually get your cell phones out and listen to music, but that's not to distract or text other students in other classes. You cannot go to the bathroom the first 15 minutes of class or the last 15. So don't ask me unless it's a medical emergency or something else, but use it before. If you got to go to the bathroom, just ask me real fast and I'll let you go before the, even if the bell's about to ring, I'll let you go, but when class starts, you can't go the first 15 or last 15. I dismiss you, the bell doesn't, and so if you need to get out and go do something, or you're racing to athletics and we're doing a project that's late, I'll email your coaches or your other teachers and you'll be excused. Sometimes I might have to hold you over for misbehavior, so I don't want to do that, but you don't leave until I tell you to. If you're absent, you need to see me after class. or before, and I'll get your missed work. I'm not going to hunt you down and make sure you get your assignment. It's your 7th and 8th graders, so it's your responsibility. When asking or answering a question, raise your hand and wait to be called on. Just talking at me with 25 kids in the room doesn't get a lot accomplished, so raise your hand, okay? When working in groups, this is very important. You'll work in your assigned group until you have completed your work. Once you're finished, you can either sit down, stay with your group, or go back to your desk. I don't want to see you running around different groups, because when we start doing scenes and games and exercises, I want you to stay with who you are, because it gets difficult when you're bothering other groups and they can't get their work done. If you finish with a test early, make sure to sit down and be quiet. Sometimes I might allow you to get your phone out and play a little game, but for the most part, do not talk. When coming to attention, I'll raise my hand. You turn to me, you freeze, face me, keep your eyes on me, and be ready for instruction. I do not want to yell. And when Mr. Brown is at his desk, very important, no more than one student can be at Mr. Brown's desk at a time. When I get 20 kids around me, I can't function. Maybe I got some disorder or something, I don't know, but too many people makes me claustrophobic, and it's hard to handle. Okay, so now we can go to the consequences for not following theater etiquette. All right, so it's very simple. This year, we're not really having lunch detention, and that was something that was very important last year, and so this year we're not having lunch detention. I know I have it here, but just ignore it. So if you don't follow theater etiquette, if you get out of your seat while performance is going, if you're talking while I'm talking, I'll just redirect you. I'll tell you, hey, get back on track. Let's focus. If you continue to do it, I won't give you a lunch detention. I'm going to write you up and move you to a separate area of the room for the remainder of the period, and then you'll be written up. Now, the third one, you'll receive an impact detention. Now, all the other teachers, we have the same procedures. You get impact detention. It's after school. I'll give you 2-day advance. I'll call your parents. If you can't make that impact detention, or you miss it, you'll be given 2. You miss those, it's ISS for the day. But if something severe happens, or your 4th warning, you'll be written up. And every 6 weeks, all this resets. Same thing for tardies. Tardies, if you're tardy first, I'll remind you to be on time. Second tardy, I'm going to call your parents. I'm not going to do the lunch detention. Third one, we'll sort of impact plus me calling your parents, and 4th one's office referral, and this will reset every day too. Now, the final thing I'm going to go over is scene evaluation. This is how you'll be graded. You should have a copy of that in the back of your packet. Notice I'll put your name, the date, and whatever scene we're doing. It might be a pantomime, or you're trapped in a box and you have to get out, whatever. But you're going to have performance, and you get 5 points. So if you do extremely well, your scene's prepared, memorized, and rehearsed, you're going to get 20 points. But if it's somewhat good, you missed a line, you kind of look like you didn't know it, it drops down, and so forth through each one of these. Character action and intent are consistent around scene. Let's say you break character a couple of times. Let's say you start laughing, talk to the audience, that's going to drop you. If you're doing a scene and I can't hear you, I don't understand you, and we're going to work a lot on articulation, that causes to drop too. Whenever you're doing a scene, you're going to have a chance to clearly establish the beginning, middle, and end. And if I can't get a flow through, it's like picture watching a movie, like the new Spider-Man. At the beginning, he's kind of a loner. His dad ran away, and then the middle of the scene, he gets his powers and he's fighting. In the end, he saves the girl and defeats the lizard. All right, but there's something happens in between, so it's important that I just don't see one 30-second scene, but I can say, okay, this was beginning, middle, and end, and stuff in between. And always that your scene's clearly and neatly presented. And we'll talk about stage blocking later on. But I'll leave comments and your grade. So right there, those are the procedures and the rules for class. I think this is going to be a great year, and y'all are going to do really well. And I'm excited to have y'all in class and to utilize the new software that that's been made available to us.